everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of the Business is Boomin podcast. My name is Jazzy, and I'm joined here by my brothers Ankit and Dover. Now, before we get into anything else, I just want to give a huge shout out to the boys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your days to help me with this. It goes without saying, boys, that none of this would have been possible without you guys.
No worries, bro. I'm in Somalia right now.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, and I still joined, man. What's up? Come on now.
Appreciate it, man.
I gotta say, I love the setting right now. You know, we got Dill in a majestic castle, and I love your setting especially, Ankit, bro. Like, it's right down the streets, eh? Right down the streets.
I'm on a vacation. You know, I got nothing else, but it's the only space I can do it. So we try, bro. We try.
Yo, I love to see it, boys. I love to see it. So boys, so today, you know, we're gonna be, you know, just a little bit of a casual conversation. We got 3 topics that we're gonna be going over today. The first one is gonna be entrepreneurial thinking and, you know, what it takes to be a good business owner, a successful business owner. The second one is gonna be events in the business world, you know, the stock market and the current economy. And the last one, if we get time to it, you know, it's all good if we don't, but hopefully we do, because it's going to be the sports and the business behind them. You know, I know both you guys are massive junkies for sports, so, you know, it should be a good time.
Basketball, bro. Hockey, come on.
You know, all right, boys. So, you know, getting it started really light. You know, do you guys see yourselves being a business owner one day? And if so, you know, what kind of line of business do you guys see yourselves in?
Yeah, I definitely see myself becoming a business owner one day. And as a matter of fact, actually, we're getting into business right now, me and the family. And we're actually getting into the clothing line of business.
Oh, that's sick, bro. That's sick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just really excited to start out. A little bit nervous, but more excited, I'd say.
No, absolutely, bro. What about you, Ankit?
Who's starting a business, Dill?
Pardon?
Who are you starting, eh?
Starting here in India, and gonna be, I'd say, in the timeline's looking in the next 2 weeks. So we're basically starting our own clothing brand for traditional Punjabi clothing, and our main goal is to target the Canadian market, the American market, just the North America side, right? More international. Then we also want to have a part of it that targets the local community as well here, right?
Proper.
And for example, like I have a lot of family members, a lot of friends, family, and everything, right? That are constantly looking to buy clothes from India, but they don't want to spend that $2,000 for a plane ticket just to come here, just to buy all that, right? So it's just become a little hassle-free to get all their products delivered to them, right?
Yeah. Supply chain.
No, absolutely. What about you, Ankit? What about you? You see yourself being a business owner one day?
I don't know, dude. The way life's going, bro. Currently, I'm taking supply chain in MRU, and with the supply chain industry, it's kind of like hard to start your own business, you know, because there's so many competition, stuff like that. Maybe in the future, but as of right now, I'm just trying to get into a corporate job, you know, get some money, then maybe start my own later, you know, after.
No, absolutely, bro, absolutely.
You know, bro, future is unpredictable. We don't know what can happen.
Yeah, no, everything is fucking, you know, it's up in the air, absolutely. So, you know, like, that kind of brings me to my next question. You know, what do you guys think it means to be an entrepreneur or like a business owner? You know, like, does it like mean like style, work ethic, like decision making? Like, what does it mean to you guys?
For me, when I think of an entrepreneur, I think of someone thinking outside the box and taking risks, you know? As an entrepreneur, you want to do something that's away from like the general, you know? If you're going to think of something, it should be creative. It should be, you know, something that no one would really think of, you know? So for me, someone that's like very creative and like, you know, always willing to take the risks that no one usually would, you know? So that's what it is to me, personally.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, a huge step of that is basically like, you know, if you're gonna start out something, you know the hassle of it as well, right?
Yep.
You know you're not gonna have a lot of that backing, and you know you're gonna have quite a bit of the backing as well, right? It's not like a smooth sailing thing. You get what I mean?
Absolutely, bro.
That's the biggest risk you have, right?
You know, like tying. Sorry.
You have a job today, right? You know what comes tomorrow.
Yep.
Of course.
As an entrepreneur, like, you start today, you don't know what comes in the future.
You're not
right? You plan, prepare everything, but whatever life throws at you, you gotta adapt to that.
Absolutely,
just risk, adapting.
100%.
It's
and like to add on to that point, I actually had a guest speaker in the class that this podcast is for actually today, and she actually it's actually really crazy. Like her whole story today, like I was completely it was one of the craziest stories ever, because she was a really early adopter of like she tried to make like a food delivery service, but she started out with this was like during the time of like skip the dishes and those kind of things weren't around, right? And then she kind of started like this delivery service for like snacks and stuff. She called it Snack Attack, right? And then what happened was like it was just her sister, and then her father initially starting it off. But then like later, like some stuff happened with her family, like whatever, like some stuff happens sometimes, right? Like again, like reinforcing Ankit's point, the future is unpredictable. But she had to take a step away from it, or like she had to make a certain decision that either she hired an employee, or like she took the entire burden of the business onto herself. And then it kind of brought her to a crossroads, but ultimately she kind of decided that, like the business like wasn't like the best idea at the time. So she had to take a step away from it. However, her one customer actually, like this is like, it blew my mind when I heard it today. Her one customer who was like really crazy about the app, he was like, this app is like the craziest thing, or like this service is like the craziest thing like ever. Like I love it. He actually went on and made Skip the dishes, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. And you guys know how big of a company Skip is, right? Like, absolutely insane. Yeah, right? And then, bro, to put insult to injury, bro, like I was like, dude, like when I heard this in class, I was like, dude, this actually like isn't fair. So the three guys who ended up making, so like it was this guy and like it was some buddies or like his brother or whatever, right? He like after they sold Skip the dishes, like she said they sold it for like 130 M's, massive amount of money, right? But of course, those guys, like that's like one of the things I think in an entrepreneur is really important, because enough is never enough for them, right? She said that, like the whole idea of being a millionaire was really cool to them, but like they liked the idea of being a billionaire even more. So what else they started up? They started up Neo Financial Group.
I know that one.
Yeah, and that and they're becoming like one of the bigger, well-known credit cards in today, because like they offer really good rewards. I know a lot of students who be using those as well. Like, bro, like it just goes to show, like in my opinion, like this business stuff, like it's everywhere, bro. Like it just takes a person seeing something that someone else hasn't seen, is acting on it. Like it's an opportunity that you need to act on per se, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. So let's get into the question set for a sec, all right? So the first question that I want to ask you boys is, what makes a good salesman? And then is it confidence, emotional intelligence, product knowledge, the ability to handle rejection? And do you guys think it's important for an entrepreneur to be a good salesman?
I definitely think as an entrepreneur, you should definitely be a good salesman, because like you said, confidence is a big thing. If you don't project yourself as someone confident willing to sell your product, why would they buy from you? They're gonna be like, yo, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just mumbling, he's just yapping. Mm-hmm. So as a good salesman, and in order to be an entrepreneur, you gotta be able to tell whoever you're selling a product to, why should you buy mine over someone else's? You gotta show through your body, through your language, you can't just look all you're slouching and everything, all scared, messing with your fingers, they're not gonna take you seriously. They don't think you're just a random joke man, it's not worth it. So me personally, I think also rejection is a big one too. You gotta handle rejection. They're gonna say no, okay? In the first time yourself, they're gonna say no, but you gotta learn why they said no. What caused that. So you learn from that, and then you put that into the next customer, and then you just keep improving yourself. So yeah, that is my opinion on that personally.
I'd say the biggest one is rejection.
Yeah.
As someone that's in the sales industry before,
because you were in the car sales, right?
It sucks calling someone or picking up the phone, keep ringing the whole day, and all you hear is no, 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 no. Yeah. Then now you got to get off work, come back, do the same thing, right? And I believe rejection. Pardon?
It's also commission too. How much sales you make. So if you keep it a nose, you're not gonna make money like that, right?
Nothing, man. You got to get that customer through the door and out of it in the car, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say rejection leads to confidence, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
How many no's everybody has an ego, everybody has pride, right? Yeah. How many no's can you take and still keep going forward?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I mean, you hear enough no's, like you're gonna get a yes eventually, right? Like
Yeah,
I swear,
100%.
like that has to be how it works,
It's
right?
the same thing. Just
you're
like
one no away.
Sorry, were you talking? My bad, Dill.
Sorry, I said you're one no away. How many no's are you realistically gonna get in a row? Let's say you get 100. The 101 might be a yes. It just depends how far you're willing to push yourself for it, right?
It's just like it's just like talking to a woman, bro.
What do you mean by that?
Sure, you're talking to multiple women, you're gonna get no's, right? But you know, as you keep talking to more, you build your confidence up, bro. And one of them will eventually, you know, you can find a future wife. It's just like that, same context, you know. So
yo, I love it, bro. I love
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Shooter's gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? Shooter's gonna shoot.
Rejection, bro. It makes you a better man. I'm telling you, trust me.
Bro, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? I think Steph Curry said,
100%,
you know, I could be
bro.
wrong, but you know,
I learned
Stephen, bro. You know, Stephen.
Just like keep going, bro. Never
But
stop.
man, yeah, like yo, I completely agree with you guys' points. Like the ability to handle rejection, like to be honest, like I couldn't agree more. It's because you know, like one of the big misconceptions people get is that like you're selling to everyone. And I think the great Jordan Belfort also said, like, he's like, I never sell to someone who doesn't want to be sold to, right? And I feel like a bunch of like new salesmen, like they try to sell a product to everyone, you know, like you guys have seen like the famous, you know, sell me the pen, right? And then it's like it's the same thing. It's like the same kind of concept. You know, they'll just try to sell you the pen, but you got to like really understand the kind of person that you're dealing with here. You know, like does this person even want to be sold to in the first place, right? And then it just comes down like that just adds to like the rejection thing, right? Like if you're like selling to someone who doesn't want to be sold, you know, like you got to be able to handle the rejection at the end of the day, right?
I'd say like you also got to have emotional connection with your client as well. Creating that emotional connection. I agree. As you're selling your product, you're selling yourself as well to them. You can have the best product in the world, but if you're not a good person or like you're not really that emotionally connected with your client, it's not really moving forward anywhere, right? Because you want a client, but do you want that client just for the moment? Or for the next long while, you get what I mean?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like it's like that's why like I feel like that's where like a massive misconception with salespeople also comes from, because a lot of people say like even today I'd be hearing around like people chatting and they say, you know, salesmen are commission driven and like salesmen are like really bad people. And like you guys know my take on car salesmen, right? Like I definitely still think that they're the scum of the earth.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. You told me that.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, you know, like that's like a necessary step that you have to take. Like if you want to buy a car, like especially like a new car, for example, you know, you're gonna have to deal with them. And then it's like, you know, like having that emotional connection, like really being able to connect to your client. I feel like that's what puts you like above and beyond like just like a normal other person, you know, who may be commission based, right?
Yeah.
I actually got a story on
Go for it, bro.
We have this one salesman. I'm telling you a story too. One, he's pumping out, let's say, like 12 cars a month. All right, 12 cars a month. He might have one up month, one down month. All right, but he's just a client comes in, he wants to get it done. That's it. Client can go. All right, not thinking about the future. Then we had another salesman. You look at his calendar. He is booked up with appointments for the next 5 to 6 months. What does he do in his free time? He sends messages to his old clients if they're happy about the car, not asking, oh, do you want to get into something new? Not constantly keeps calling them, but checks up on them every 2 to 3 months and checks up again every 2 to 3 months to see how they're doing. And he, I think, went 3 times back to back as Salesman of the Year.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's about that client relationship, right? Like at a certain point, you gotta stop treating them like a client and start treating them a little bit like family.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, because like, yo, bro, like a lot of like even like in the like, I feel like word of mouth is like one of the most underrated ways that you can get your name out there, like regardless of what industry that you're in, right? Like let's say let's say me, right? Like if I want to go buy a car tomorrow, you know, and like let's say Doe is like a salesman, and then I ask Ankit like, yo, I'm trying to buy this car, you know, like who should I go to? And you know, if he's had a positive experience with you, Dill, like it just goes to show, like he's gonna be like, yo, like my boy Dill, like he got me right in the last car that I bought, right? Great rate, you know, great price, you know, like you should definitely check him out. And that word of mouth goes a long way, I feel like.
Oh yeah,
100%.
referral base is crazy. If you can get your base down,
more your business and you booming. That's all.
Absolutely. So, yo, that brings me to my second question, bro. So, like, do you have, like, if there is anything, what do you think is, like, a big misconception that some people have about being a business owner?
That's a good one. You know, honestly, from what I heard, apparently if you're a business owner, you're greedy, bro. I heard that from people I've talked to. Yeah. Apparently if you're a business owner, all you care about is money, bro. You don't care about anything else. Or, like, you know, you're, like, very selfish. Apparently, that's the first time I heard that. Like, I don't think that's true though. I feel like a business owner is someone that's actually like, you know, willing to do anything it takes to make money, but you know, as in the right way. Not like what people say, like, oh, you're just being greedy. You're gonna like overstep other people, you know, put them down while you're going up. I don't think that's the case. I feel like you still go up while having like, you know, a close circle with people, right?
Okay.
You know, misconceptions will happen for everything. So yeah.
I'd say you need to be a little bit selfish, need to be a little bit greedy.
Yeah.
When it comes to starting a business, owning a business, right? I worked at Honda under a boss and everything. All right, it was good, right? But if I screw up or do anything, that affects the boss and his company only, right? And I believe when you're a business owner, you're at a position where you're controlling everything. If something like messing up everything on top, right? You have to be a little greedy, a little bit selfish. Be like, no, sorry, you gotta go.
That's fair,
right?
Yeah,
like because at the end of the day, if you're running your own business, you have to kind of look out for yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? Everything, like if you have an employee, right? He goes away, he'll get a job somewhere else. Your business goes down. Who's taking the biggest loss?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not that employee. It's not going to be your friends. It's not going to be the friend group. I'm not saying it's bad to keep a friend group, right? 100%. You keep everyone close, but at the same time, you have to put yourself first in a lot of positions.
That's true. You can't just be like selfless.
You get what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, kind of like reinforcing on that as well. Like I agree very heavily with what Dill says. Like, there needs to be like a certain level of greed, right? You know, it's because like this is the kind of business that I'm kind of in, right? I feel like, you know, like if I kind of orient myself, you know, as like the help everyone, you know, everyone eats one, i.e. kind of mindset, you know, it doesn't really get me far. Is because and I also feel like, you know, like regardless of like external factors, right? Like this is something that I know Dill, Ankit, I know both you guys have heard me say it before, but the business owner is the last person at the table that gets to eat. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the fucking like if the month that we're in business, like if we do exceptional, if we do terrible, or we just do okay, right? It doesn't matter. Like for that employee, like you mentioned, though, that person's gonna get paid regardless. You know, they're on salary. It doesn't matter if we're negative, positive, right in between. You know, that person is gonna get a salary on the 1st and 15th. You know, and they're gonna go about their days. You know, but the business owner is that's the person that kind of has to like, you know, sit back and like reflect, like, hey, like, you know, maybe this month like wasn't the best. You know, maybe I should let the business have a little bit more of my salary, right? And then, but I feel like that's also what drives like that kind of connection, you know. Like I feel like with a lot of business owners, it's like I have this like a lot of respect for people who go out there and start a business, is because I feel like more often than not is they saw something that they needed, or like they saw like a gap in the market and they decided to do something about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then just like going back to like that whole point of being like of selfishness, there's definitely like a level of selfishness that you need, you know, because like I worked with all kinds of people in the industry. Like you guys know that like we're in the housing industry, right? I've dealt with all kinds of contractors, you know, contractors that have cheaper prices on their labor, and then other ones who are just through the roof, right? And then it is like, you know, like, of course, like there's levels of greed, but it's like, you know, like in order to be successful, you know, like you gotta know that you're not just the person that can take shit from everyone, you know, you gotta be able to stand your ground. And I feel like that's like really what makes makes you a better business owner at the end of the day.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I agree, bro. That's true. Spinning.
You know, and then like, you know, being a business owner, right? Like, I feel like there's like a lot of tough decisions that you have to make, you know, like, you know, sometimes, you know, like firing someone that you may not want to be let go. You know, do you guys think that there's anything that, you know, necessarily prepares you to make those kind of tough decisions?
That's
no. You have to put your foot down and do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can't risk everything for one person. I'm sorry.
I feel like for that you can think of what ifs, bro. There's no what ifs for this shit. If you're actually like someone or anything,
you can put in variables to see what are the ups and downs of it. But at the same time, you need to make that decision. You have to make the decision.
Yeah, yes or no. But you have to do it right away. You can't just
you're thinking yourself.
It makes it hard.
You get what I mean?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna go back to this story. I know I already told you boys this, but like with one of my coworkers, right? You know, like one of my like this coworker, like he's so relatively new, right? You guys know that I've been working with my company since I came out of high school, so it's been quite the years, a lot of ups and downs. But you know, like this guy, like he was hired like what, like I would say maybe like 3 months ago, and he was calling shots, making decisions. Like this guy's like the right hand of the table, right? And then like I was put in a position in that moment where I was like I never, because me personally, like I always like to tell my techs and like my other coworkers that regardless of whatever qualifications I may or may not have, like my tenure may be higher than yours, lower than yours, I never really like to like exert my power, you know what I mean? So, but like in this moment, I felt like it was quite necessary for me to do that, you know what I mean? Because he made a mistake that, you know, like otherwise, like, you know, like someone in his place shouldn't be making, you know. And on top of that, that was directly in like during a time where the boss, like the big boss, wasn't in town, and I was the one kind of like told to like, you know, lead the charge, so to speak. And then it was just like in that kind of moment, you know, like he kind of acted out of line, and then it was like I don't really necessarily think like I spent a few days thinking about how I handled the situation.
And I'm back on my grind. A psychic read my lifeline, told me in my lifetime my name will help.
You know, I kind of yelled at him, but at the same time, I felt like the outcome of that situation was definitely something, you know, like I wasn't prepared to deal with it, but like the outcome was definitely something that, you know, I thought about. And then, you know, like if anything like this were to happen in the future, like I'd have like a better way of dealing with it, you know what I mean? But like I would say, like again, like nothing was able to prepare me for that moment.
No, yeah.
Yep, fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, and like, would you say like you've had like similar like experiences like this in car sales? Because you were in car sales, right?
Yes. Right before car sales, I was actually in sales lot attendant, right? Because I was managing the lot and everything. Like me and my manager were tight, like super tight. All right. And I remember one day I went to the back parking lot. I had to bring the car to the front. Right. Came in from this side, got in the driver's seat. I put the car in reverse. As soon as I put it in reverse, the car just tilted like this. So I didn't know the car was on a tire jack.
You fucking donut. Of course you don't.
Oh,
right?
Shit.
So, like, no matter how much my boss loves me, that's strike one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's strike one, no matter what.
Yeah.
No debate,
right?
bro.
Like, no debate. Like, at the end of the day, I know if I keep doing things wrong, or like, let's say I cause damage, anything, I will get fired. No matter how much that person likes me, no matter what our relationship is, I'm gone from there. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no matter how good that person is, or no matter how bad that person is, if he messes up or he's causing a havoc, he's got to go.
Just like you said.
Absolutely,
before.
Absolutely. And like, bro, like not even like take favor of your boss. Like, of course, like there's certain ways of handling it, right? But like, there's sometimes like there's certain mistakes, right? That like, you know, like of course, like being like a lot attendant, right? Like you know, like maybe you should have, you know, like checked out like to make sure that the car was 100% clear, right? And then, you know, like above else, like, you know, like instead of like viewing it as like whatever, like a negative experience for you, right? Like I like to think of that kind of stuff as like a massive learning opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, cause you know, like regardless of the way that your manager may or may not have handled it, bro, like you're definitely not gonna make that same mistake again, right?
Made me look at both sides of the car before getting in every time on the dealership.
Yeah, man. That's a common sense, bro. Like, that guy's tripping, bro.
Yo, so actually, bro, boys, we do appear to be running out of time a little bit here. So I want to ask one final question before we kind of conclude this interview. You know, like, if you guys were put in that position where you were a business owner or an entrepreneur, you know, what kind of boss would you be? Because I've seen both sides of the spectrum, you know. I've seen like the chill kind of boss, you know, that everyone loves. And then I've also seen that really aggressive and assertive boss that, you know, people really hate to piss off, right? But like, you know, like otherwise, like he's a good all-rounded guy. So what kind of owner do you guys think you'd be?
I mean, I would personally be a chill one because like the thing is, people want to come into work and not deal with some like, you know, heckling all the time and like, you know, being annoying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only chill unless something really bad happens, and obviously I'm gonna lash out, right? It's normal.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd be like the chill manager, you know, because like people want to come to work, you know, people are tired, you know, they have long shifts, right? Why would you want to make it harder for themselves already, you know, like yell at them all the time, like crash out for no reason, or make this work like a living hell, you know? It's not worth it. Like,
that's fair enough.
Because again, bro, you know, it's like I learned in class, like, you know, a good work environment, it will affect the company altogether, in a positive or negative way. So if you're out here being like a fucking bitch, right? Like, why would they want to work? They're like, yo, screw you, man. We could go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
Like, there's so many business owners out there, so you shouldn't even be acting like that, right? Like, like ego is a big thing, but as long as you're like cool with your, like, it's fine to yell if it's actually like a common sense mistake. Like, why would you make the mistake, right? You're qualified. But like, other than that, like, yeah, like make a good work environment, man. It affects everything. Like, you know, common sense, but a lot of these people don't know, so it is what it is.
Absolutely.
I definitely want that too. I'd definitely be a chill boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the last two bosses I've worked under, oh man, some of the best humans I've ever met.
Yeah,
right.
That's good to hear, bro. That's good to hear.
I've seen the way they treat their team, where they treat individual people. Like, a lot of bosses, they'll just walk by you. This guy's like, he'll come by, just come give me a hug or whatever. Not he's like, yo, I'm gonna go get lunch. You want anything? Like, he has got no need to ask me. I'm a lot attendant.
That probably made you do more work, right? It made you do more work too. Like, you want to go and work. Yeah.
I hustled, man.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cover, I came in. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Good work environment is the best thing you can have. 100%. You can have the best sales team around you or the best team around you, but if you're a dick, they're walking out of the room.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely, I agree.
Go somewhere else, man. There's so many other
However, I will say this one thing though. I do feel like there's a certain level of like being like a dick that needs to be present, because like, you know, like if you're commonly portraying or like all the time like you're just this chill guy that just always wants to like, you know, like fuck around, joke around, people are gonna take advantage of that, you know. Like, they also need like there needs to be a balance. Yeah, exactly. Because like, bro, like without balance, bro, like they also need to know that you're an authority figure, right? That, you know, like shit doesn't slide and shit's not sweet like if you fuck off, like if you fuck around too much, you know what I mean? So 100%. Yeah, I feel like definitely, bro, definitely.
Yeah, it's like I said, yo, like you don't need like it makes sense for you to get mad if like they actually mess up, right? It's actually a pretty bad mess up. It's like, obviously then you can slash out, like, bro, like how do you make a mistake like that? You're supposed to be qualified, right? So
yeah,
that's the time I would personally get mad, like really bad. So yeah,
absolutely. Yo, well, boys, like it looks like we're out of time and we only got through one topic, but that was all right, bro. Yo, like, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day again, bro. Like, honestly, like this was like more than enough. Like, bro, we had a great conversation. Like, even if it was just on one topic, entrepreneurial thinking, you know, like I just know for a fact both you boys will make great business owners one day. You know, bro, you already got your number one client right here in me. So,
well, hopefully once I get out of Somalia, bro, I'll come over. My power's about to go out. It's a good thing this thing ended, bro. Cause my power's
like I'm not gonna lie. Trump's over there. Like, he's ushering me to get out. He actually needs his office now. He's got to do some pretty important stuff.
I would die to be there, bro. I would die to be there, man. Oh my god. Help me.
Oh man. But everyone, this brings us to the end of the first episode of the Business is Boomin' podcast. From me and the boys, we hope you all enjoyed. Let us know what you thought. Until next time, we'll see you guys next time.
Episode 2, baby. Who's back?